Your body gave you a sign yesterday that you completely ignored. It wasn't on the scale, it wasn't in the mirror. It was something weird. Maybe your breath smelled different, or you woke up at 3 a.m. feeling oddly alert, or your hunger just disappeared. And you probably brushed it off. But here's what's actually happening. Your body was telling you it had switched fuels. It stopped burning sugar and started burning fat. Today, I'm going to walk you through 8 real science-backed signs that your body is officially in fat-burning mode. And I promise you, at least 3 of these are going to surprise you. If you're doing keto, intermittent fasting, low-carb, or just cutting back on sugar, you've probably asked yourself at some point, is this actually working? The problem is, most people only check the scale. And the scale lies. It fluctuates with water weight, muscle gain, hormones. It's one of the worst indicators of actual fat loss. What we're going to look at today are the real signals, the ones your body sends from the inside out, that confirm fat is being broken down and used as fuel. Some of them are obvious, most of them are not. Let's get into it. Sign 1. Your hunger is disappearing, and it feels weird. The first sign is one of the most misunderstood things that happens when you switch to fat burning. Your hunger becomes manageable, almost suspiciously so. When your body runs on glucose, sugar from carbs, your blood sugar spikes and crashes constantly. Every crash sends a hunger signal to your brain. That's why you can eat a big bowl of pasta and be hungry again 2 hours later. But fat metabolism works completely differently. When you're burning fat, your liver converts fatty acids into molecules called ketone bodies. And ketones have a direct appetite-suppressing effect on the brain, specifically on the hunger hormone ghrelin. Studies have shown that people in ketosis report significantly lower hunger levels even when eating in a calorie deficit. What this looks like in real life: you skip breakfast and realize it's 1 p.m. and you genuinely forgot to eat. Or you sit down to dinner, eat half your plate, and feel completely satisfied. Or you stop having those 3 p.m. sugar cravings that used to feel unbearable. This isn't willpower, this is biochemistry. Your body no longer needs to beg for sugar because it has a stable, abundant fuel source, your own body fat. If you're experiencing this, it's one of the clearest signs fat burning has begun. Sign 2. Your energy is steady. No more afternoon crash. You eat lunch, your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin to deal with it, blood sugar drops, and suddenly you want to put your head on your desk and sleep. When you're burning fat, that cycle is broken. Fat and ketones provide a much more stable, consistent energy supply than glucose. Your blood sugar stays even, insulin stays low, and your brain, which actually prefers ketones as a fuel source in many situations, gets a clean, steady supply of energy. What you'll notice: you stop needing coffee at 2 p.m. just to function. Your mental energy feels consistent from morning into the evening. You don't get that post-lunch brain fog. Your mood is more stable throughout the day because mood swings are often blood sugar swings. Now, I need to be honest with you here. Before you reach this stage, many people go through what's called the keto flu: fatigue, headaches, irritability. That's the transition phase where your body is still learning to use fat efficiently. But once you're through that, the stable energy is one of the most life-changing parts of fat adaptation. Sign 3. Your sleep changes vividly. This one catches people completely off guard. When your body shifts into fat burning, a significant portion of people report changes in their sleep. And the most common one is more vivid dreams. Here's the likely reason. Ketones are neuroactive. They cross the blood-brain barrier easily and influence brain activity. Some research suggests they increase REM sleep duration or intensity, which is the dream stage of sleep. There's also a link to growth hormone here. Fat-burning diets tend to lower insulin, and growth hormone is suppressed by insulin. When insulin is low, especially overnight, growth hormone rises. And growth hormone is one of the most powerful natural signals for fat breakdown during sleep. Sign 4. You're getting mild headaches or brain fog. Wait, isn't this a bad sign? Actually, no. In the right context, early headaches and temporary brain fog are your body's signal that the metabolic transition is actively happening. Here's what's going on. When you cut carbs, your body begins depleting glycogen stores. As I mentioned earlier, water follows glycogen out of the body. And along with that water, you lose electrolytes, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Low electrolytes cause headaches. Low electrolytes cause brain fog. This is so common in the early days of keto that it has its own name, the keto flu. This is not your body telling you to eat carbs, it's your body adjusting, and it's a clear signal the metabolic switch is underway. How to get through it faster? Salt your food generously with quality salt. Get potassium from avocados, leafy greens, and nuts. Consider a magnesium supplement. Most people are deficient anyway. Drink enough water, but don't overdo it. That can flush more electrolytes. Most people are through the keto flu within 3 to 7 days, and on the other side of it is the stable energy, clear thinking, and appetite control we talked about earlier. Sign 5. Your workouts feel harder, then much better. If you exercise and you start a fat-burning diet, you may notice a dip in performance in the first 1 to 3 weeks. Lifts feel heavier, cardio feels harder, you might feel slower. This is temporary, and here's why it happens. Your muscles are used to running on glucose for quick, explosive energy. Fat metabolism is slightly slower to mobilize and produces ATP, that's energy, at a different rate than glucose. Your muscles need time to upregulate the enzymes and mitochondria required to burn fat efficiently. Athletes call this process fat adaptation, and it typically takes 2 to 4 weeks to really kick in. Once you're fat adapted, many endurance athletes report sustained energy during long training sessions without needing gels or carbs, less muscle soreness after workouts, faster recovery, because fat burning reduces inflammation compared to glucose burning. Better body composition, more muscle to fat ratio over time. The dip in performance isn't a sign your diet isn't working. It's a sign your muscle cells are retraining their fuel systems. Sign 6. Your skin might break out, then clear up. This one surprises people. In the early days of cutting carbs and shifting into fat burning, some people experience a temporary breakout. The reason isn't fully understood, but the leading theory involves 2 things. First, detoxification. Your body stores certain compounds in fat cells. As fat is mobilized and broken down, those stored compounds are released into the bloodstream and have to be processed by the liver and skin. Second, hormonal shifts. Reducing insulin, which drops significantly on a low-carb diet, affects androgen hormones that influence sebum production in the skin. The adjustment period can temporarily trigger breakouts, especially around the jawline. But here's the good news. Chronically high insulin is directly linked to acne, inflammation, and accelerated skin aging. Once your insulin levels stabilize at a lower baseline, which happens as fat burning becomes your dominant metabolism, most people see significant improvements in skin clarity, reduced puffiness, and a more even complexion. The breakout, if it happens, is almost always short-lived. And what follows is often skin that looks measurably healthier than it did when you were running on sugar and processed carbs all day. Sign 7. You feel emotionally and mentally sharper. This one is the sign that makes people fall in love with fat-burning diets and never look back. Once the adaptation period is done, once your brain has learned to use ketones efficiently, the mental clarity is striking. People describe it as thinking faster and more clearly, feeling less anxious, improved focus and concentration during long tasks, a sense of calm, steady mood that wasn't there before. The brain can derive up to 70% of its energy from ketones when they're available, and ketones are a more efficient fuel for the brain than glucose in several ways. They produce more ATP per unit, they reduce oxidative stress, and they have anti-inflammatory properties in neural tissue. For everyday purposes, if your brain feels like it's running on high definition instead of standard definition, you're in fat-burning mode. Sign 8. You're losing inches, not just weight. The last sign is one you measure, not feel, but it's one of the most meaningful. When you're burning fat, the weight on the scale might move slowly, but your body composition is changing underneath. Your clothes fit differently. Your waistline shrinks. Your face looks less puffy. People start asking if you've lost weight before the scale reflects much change. Here's why. Fat loss and weight loss are not the same thing. Water, muscle glycogen, inflammation, all of these contribute to scale weight. But they're not fat. When the scale stalls, most people quit. But if they took their measurements, Waist, hips, arms, thighs, they would often see that inches are coming off, even when weight isn't. Practical advice: take measurements weekly or every 2 weeks, not just scale weight. Take progress photos. You will see changes that neither the scale nor the tape measure captures. Pay attention to how your clothes fit. That's the most honest daily feedback. Fat burning is real, it's measurable, but it doesn't always show up the way TV and Instagram tell you it will. Trust the process, track the right things, and the results will follow. So there you have it, 8 real, science-based signs that your body has switched from burning sugar to burning fat. Not every person experiences all. Everyone's metabolism, hormone profile, and gut microbiome is different. But if you're experiencing even 4 or 5 of these, your body has made the switch. If this helped you today, please share it with someone who's on keto or intermittent fasting and wondering if it's actually working. Sometimes people quit right before the results kick in, and a video like this might be exactly what keeps them going. Subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video, and I'll see you there.